You know what I mean? It's not about who's the baddest guy in Philadelphia. We're not interested in that. This guy's proven he's one of the baddest guys in the world twice.
Two times.
So now he's on the verge to prove that he's a bad guy, one of the baddest guys in the world in this division too. And we understand people have seen some of the past performances, and they're not going to tell you in your face, but people have written him off. People have written him off. You know they're gonna look at him in person half-heartedly and say, oh yeah, hey, what's your best? But in their mind they're like, hey, too small, and they're gonna write him off. And I told them they supposed to think like that. It's his job to change their opinion. It's his job to say, hey, you know, I didn't think that he'd do this. And that's his job, and that's the job that's up to us. And that's the task we're up for. The special guys take their job on head on, and that's what we plan on doing.
Any questions? Get this question Q&A popping.
Yeah, what's it like to finally have to fight back in Philadelphia?
I don't know, man. 'Cause I haven't fought, you know, since 2003. That was my last time fighting on the Bernard Foot, the French dude.
Car.
The dude who came to the ring with a motorcycle. I fought on that undercard, you know, and I mean, people Philly didn't know me, you know, because I started boxing when I was in the Navy. So I didn't have like people, oh, Steve's fighting. You know, I didn't even fight amateur in Philly. Everything was in the Navy. So when I came back home, it's like, even when I started going to other gyms, people like, who this dude? You know, Steve, he ain't from Philly. You know, they didn't know me. You know, because I started boxing at 19. So right now, you know, with NBC, real grateful to NBC for you know, putting me on the Adamy fight, the Fury fight, helping me do allowing me to do the fight plans with BJ. They really helped me get a fan base or get familiar with the casual boxing fan. The hardcore boxing fans already knew me because of, you know, I'm two-time champion. I done traveled the world. I done did what a lot of fighters don't want to do.
A lot of
I did it with a belt. You know, I'm traveling the world with a belt, actually getting fed to the wolves by my promoters. But by the grace of God, we prevailed, you know, and made a good name. So fighting here now at this point, it's awesome, man. I mean, I can't say a dream come true, but it's close. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, you know, I'm 37 and this and that. But this is one thing I wanted to accomplish: fighting in Philly on a level such as this, or even higher. I always wanted to fight in Europe, as you know, like campaign in Europe. I did that, so now I'm back home. You know.
World champions, win titles in other places. Never won a world title on U.S. soil.
Nope, yeah, I won my
Every
title.
world title he won was out in the world.
Germany and Poland.
We got world title. We got world champions that ain't got a passport. Jokers ain't world champion. The world champion means the world. It don't mean you the baddest thing in the United States.
That's true.
I mean, that's a USBA championship.
And that's one thing I always looked at when I was a kid. You know, it'd be like when I first started boxing, it's like world champion. You know, I want to be a world champion. I want to fight, you know, in Australia. I want to go fight in England. That was just my mindset then. And it's funny how stuff worked. You know, I was with a promoter that was just like, hey, I don't see no value in you. Go ahead, go over there and make some money for me. You know, send me to Germany, send me to Poland twice, send me to Germany numerous times. And then we signed with a German promoter and was like, hey, this the pot we cooking in, you know? So let's just go ahead and burn it up some more, you know? So we did that.
Naazim, you're the trainer of probably the greatest older fighter of all time. You're fighting a guy who's, and everyone agrees he's probably a freak of nature, Bernard. You're fighting a guy who's 41.
Alien.
You're fighting a guy who's 41 years old. Obviously, he's taken about 10 years off. You know, is 41 or is he a young 41 because of, you know, the 10 years off?
Mansour is an athlete. What is most impressive about Mansour, people can talk of his limitations, or he can't do this, or he hasn't done that. He's a guy with very little has got it done with what he has. That makes you special. You see what I'm saying? If you can get it done with what you have, we see people running track without legs, and people find a way to get it done with what they have, and Mansour is that. So you have to take him serious at every cost and in every level. And we do. We take every opponent very serious because, like we said, this is the biggest fight in Mansour's life. People are going to try to talk about when he fought Maurice Harris. Maurice Harris was never at the level that Steve Cunningham was. He was a bigger man, much older man, and had been battled up already by the time he got to him. This is the biggest fight of this man's life. So I told Steve, you have to remember when you fought for your first world title, this is the way Mansour is thinking now. Because this, and like I say, for his whole team, this is the biggest fight of their life. They make a name for themselves by dealing with Steve Cunningham. So Steve has to wake America up and wake the world up and let them know I'm still valuable, I'm still here. Because like I try to tell them, they're not going to tell you to your face. Nobody's going to walk up to your face and say, you know something, man, you're too small in this game and we can't take you seriously. You know what I mean? So you have to prove that you are that. That's what lays on his shoulder, and that's what he faces, and he has to deal with it.
Biggest fight in Mansour's career. How do you fit it in with your career? Like this fight.
What helped me in my career stay on point, like 100 and training and just drive is whatever fight I was fighting, that was the most important, biggest fight of my career. You know what I mean? It is. If I would have lost to my last fight, Kizada, if I'd have took that guy light and lost to him, I'd have been done, And if I'd have, same thing with any other fights that I've won. So I've always looked at every fight as the biggest fight of my career, because it is actually, you don't want to get set back. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose ever. They got to show me I'm going to lose in the ring, But I mean, this is it's a special fight for me too, because of its heavyweight and because Mansour is the powerhouse. They're calling him the next Mike Tyson, all these things, and the things that they're saying about me, the negative things. Like I said before, I'm
Watch your mouth,
that stuff fuels me up. You know what I'm saying? That stuff fuels me in camp, and I'm ready for the fight.
How much of the motivation going into this is regular motivation, got to win the fight, important for your career, and how much of it is showing people that, Naazim talked about people who might be whispering that, you're a heavyweight.
I mean, there's all,
showing people.
Every fight, I guess just for my career, almost every fight, especially as being a champion, was kind of like that, showing these people, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be cruiserweight champion. I'm supposed to be two-time champion. Look who I beat. Champions I beat, guys I beat in the cruiserweight division are reigning champions right now, not just champs with a couple title defenses. Marco Huck, this dude's got like 10, 12 title defenses. I stopped him in the 12th round. Krzysztof Ledarczyk from Poland, WBC champ.
Say his name again?
Yeah, exactly. Spell it. El Diablo, that's what they call him. He's reigning champ. I beat Guillermo Jones before he got a belt. He's about to fight for his, he had the belt, he got the belt, then he lost it due to some circumstances. Now I think he's about to get it back again. A lot of people don't look at that. I've fought these guys and beat these type of guys, so I want to do that in the heavyweight division. With Mansour having a USBA title, that's just, it's a step on the stairs on the highway to heaven,
Get that jewelry, man.
Straight up.
Collect all that jewelry.
This is a question for both gentlemen.
Yeah.
Brother Naazim, these two sparred several times. How much does familiarity play into the game plan? How much of it is he's familiar, and how much of it is mental?
My thing, the sparring advantage goes to Mansour. Because Mansour is going to do everything he can to try to take that sparring situation out of Steve's head. He's going to want to prove to Steve, I'm a way better fighter than when you spar me. I'm a much better athlete than when you spar me. So to me, the sparring advantage actually goes to Mansour. They didn't spar enough to familiarize themselves with each other like that. But I know Mansour had solace in the sparring. That's why when I spoke him at the press conference, I said when the first thing out of his mouth is going to be about the sparring session. And when the first thing out of his mouth is about the sparring session. It has to be, because that's raining on his head. That's driving him while he runs. That's driving him. He knows that he has to do way better than that. You know what I mean? So I think the advantage is to him with the sparring. It's just we have to be intelligent enough to know that he's thinking like that. And we are.
He's one of the few southpaw heavyweights out there. So now that you're fighting him, who the other southpaws you're working with coming into this?
That's one of the advantages of every fighter who's been successful. When you can't find guys that can emulate them. Mm-hmm. Fortunately enough, like I said again, our team. When you talking about Buddy Osborne, Livy Cunningham, our team. We reach out to each other and we get things done. Sometimes it won't be about a particular sparring partner that boxes like him, but things that we can have a sparring partner do that's in that same format for us to get done what we need to get done. And like I say, you find a way. You find a way. And I really believe we found a way. With some of the things we've implemented in this training, I'm confident that we found a way to deal with it.
So without actual southpaw sparring partners, you're saying?
Oh, there'll be southpaw sparring partners in there. But here's my thing. No sparring partner fights like the guy that's got the belt, because if they did, they couldn't spar with you. They'd be somewhere getting ready to defend their belt. You know what I mean? So nobody actually, there is no sparring partner. You're not going to find somebody who actually boxes like Floyd or actually boxes like Andre Ward. You have to put together pieces of the puzzle to get things done. So you might have a guy that can do one of the things that that guy does. You know what I mean? And then you piece it together and you find a way to get the work done. Study the tapes and implement our game plan. And force him to accept our game plan.
Now, the guy you had here last night looked just like Mansour, if you want my opinion.
Word.
That guy was
Y'all know Nas ain't giving out too many
Don't
secrets.
tell who that was.
Nas gonna tell you what color he wearing today. It's a secret to me.
Hey man, listen, like I said, the one thing is for certain and for sure that we take Mansour absolutely as one of our serious threats. And like I said, fighting here in Philly, as well as my team is based in fighting in championships, everything, Mansour supporters are based in Philly. Yeah, he's got Philly history behind him with guys like Russell Peltz and Johan, outstanding Mr. Johan. So he's grounded in that formula. You know what I mean? So we have to put in work. We have to work harder than Mansour, and we have to do more to prove something to the public. We know that. You know what I mean?
Who do you think the pressure is on most, Steve or Mansour?
Well, we put our own pressure on us, so ours is heavy.
Ours
Man,
always heavy.
Mansour, like I say, he's in a comfortable network. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not one to get into the politics and things of that nature, but he's in a comfortable situation. You know what I mean? Because most people want to say, well, you know, even if Mansour can't get him, we can automatically pretty much say he was the aggressor. Because in boxing, we've lost sight that it's called effective aggression. We just scoring fights to the guy who came forward. He was the aggressor. Yeah, but he got hit all night. I mean, and he's been in this situation. The other guy came. He got hit.
The last 10 seconds he fought.
But he got hit all night. You know what I mean? It's effective aggression. It's making the guy, when you just mentioned the next Mike Tyson made you miss everything and came in there. But what you'll see, because the guy's home and like I say, he's in the comfort zone, you're going to see a little showmanship. You know, Mansour and them add a little showmanship. They add a little smoke and mirrors, you know what I mean? But my thing is, I got to lay my solace on the fact that the judges and the public people are their intellect of knowing boxing and understanding that boxing, we're not MMA, we're not tough guys. He's a boxer, you know what I mean? So we have to implement our plan on that.
Are you worried about dirty tactics?